And welcome, guys. This is the first ever episode of Subs No Dubs. My name is Casey.
My name is Darshan, better known as Toonie2K.
And this will be probably twice a month podcast that we do, hopefully talking about anime and things relating to anime as well. Hopefully it goes well, and I hope you guys enjoy.
Yep.
Um, if
So
anything,
today we have
yeah, go ahead.
a very special guest with us today. One of our personal best friends, IRLs. His name's TJ, better known as Majestic Bear 2 on Twitter. Um,
Mhm.
Welcome to the show, bro. Glad to have you on for a very first
I'm
episode.
happy. I'm happy to be here. Actually, I I don't get to talk a lot about anime, like in this setting, especially.
Yeah.
I feel like we have a great show for you guys today. Casey, you could probably start us off with our first topic.
Oh God, don't do this to me. The first topic that we'll be going over today will be what is your most anticipated anime returns since COVID?
Oh man, I don't know who wants to start this off, but I have an entire list ready for this, bro. I don't know about you guys, but I've been waiting ages for anime to
So,
return.
honestly, personally speaking, it's not like an anime return, but it got delayed because of COVID.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But Yasha is making a sequel.
Yeah.
Really?
Wait,
Yeah,
you didn't
I
see
did
this?
not hear
With
that.
their
Yeah,
with their
with the kids,
with the kids. Yeah.
So
Well,
you have to see
personally,
yeah,
I've never watched Inuyasha, so
Okay.
I have no
Oh,
idea how.
really? That was
Yeah,
like my
never.
childhood. So I watched that. I watched Inuyasha with my mom of all things. So
Jesus Christ.
Wait, that's fine.
I do
Yeah.
remember like late at night, I'd like on if you turn on the TV, I'd like randomly see episodes, but that was about it for me. I don't know about you guys.
Mm. I feel like I never watched Inuyasha in order, but like I ended up watching it
So
at
that's
some
honestly
point
how I felt too. Yeah.
because TV. But dude,
TV
all
was
the
a
wonders of
weird place
technology.
to watch anime,
What a-
especially in like the Canadian setting when you think
Yeah.
about it. Because we had like, what was it? I forgot what it was like, Jet X or something. I don't even remember.
I remember on YTV. That's how,
YTV
like
was where I used to watch
YTV, yeah.
everything.
late nights on Fridays, bro.
Yeah,
YTV had like
exactly.
Naruto, One Piece,
Mhm.
Dragon Ball, like that. Like I
Like
didn't
like
start wa-
the OG OGs.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't start watching anime until like I want to say 5 years ago, but I'd randomly like Friday night turn it on, watch an episode of Naruto. I had no idea what's going on, but it looked pretty cool as like an 11-year-old kid. So
I can't believe
yeah,
Mhm. Like when we're talking about like anticipated animes because of the delay,
Mm-hmm.
I think the first one that like really comes to mind for a lot of people is actually ReZero.
Dude.
oh bro,
Yeah,
I've been waiting years on years. I don't know when the first season ended. I think it might have been 4 years ago.
I
3
think
years
so.
ago?
It might have been 3 4 years ago. I think it was still when I was in high school.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, definitely high school. So
Mhm.
around 4 years ago.
3 4 years ago. Yeah.
Speaking of ReZero, it actually starts back tomorrow, 10:30 Eastern for us.
I'm so
And-
excited.
I'm beyond excited.
Oh,
I don't
man.
know if you
I'm
guys-
very excited, but like I'm kind of sad as well because like what they did because of COVID is
Yeah.
they're releasing in 2 parts.
Yeah, part 2
Oh,
starts
2
in
cores?
January of
Yeah,
2021, right?
Yeah,
Wait.
it's the winter 2021 fall season that's gonna be dropping.
Will it be 24 episodes? Like
No,
together?
it's 13, I believe.
Oh, so
okay,
26
okay.
total. That's fine. I think that's
Yeah.
cool.
Honestly, I'm fine with that, to be honest.
Mhm.
I feel like as long as I get a chance to watch
Yeah.
26 episodes
Exactly.
of that show, I will never complain. That show was so good.
It's an interesting topic to bring up because like
Yeah.
it is an isekai,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a very weird twist on the isekai genre because it's like the MC
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
is not strong in the
Yeah.
slightest. Really, it's just all about like using his ingenuity, all that kind of stuff. Plus,
No,
he just kind of, he's slowly you can see that he's breaking down with each
Mhm.
episode.
That's true, right? And like, there's like some parts in that show that you'd hear like the music go off, and like you're like when he goes back in time, you're just like whoa, and then
You know it's about to go down.
that noise
But
became like so
I honestly
ingrained.
think like the biggest meme that came out of that thing was like I love Amelia when he said it
Oh,
for
of course.
Yeah.
for Rem.
Dude,
All I know is like everyone was like he's dumb. How, how does he give up someone so loyal like that?
yeah. I mean, the Rem and Ram thing were super cute though, like especially like what happened, like when she went to the forest to save him, and then like her sacrificing herself almost for him. Wait, did she
Like,
sacrifice herself? It's been a while, but
yeah, it's
I
kind of
don't know, but at the end of season 1,
there's
I'm pretty sure everyone forgets about Rem, right?
yeah.
I think that's how it ends, and I'm pretty sure season 2 is gonna be all about like everyone remembering her again. I'm pretty
Oh, that's
sure.
gonna be
because
pretty
I believe
wild.
like Subaru is like the only one who kind
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
all of his like
Yeah, I
power
think so.
things.
Yeah, it probably will be a good watch, but for me personally, I'd probably have to go with the second part of last season of Haiku, cause
Ah,
Oh, it was like it's to the top, right? Second part.
second part,
yeah,
part two.
exactly.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think it's only gonna be around 12 to 13 episodes, but I personally read the manga and I already know what's gonna happen. This is
Honestly,
probably
I am in the same boat here, and
yeah, you know
I
what's gonna
I
happen.
cannot wait
I will
because
end you all.
my personal favorite character
Mhm.
Mhm,
is Bokuto,
Mhm.
mhm.
and
We can't say
I'll
much,
fight.
bro. We
Dude,
we
can't.
can't say much. We can't say
I
much,
will
but like
fight you.
I'm not gonna say anything about the manga.
Yeah.
All I'll say is like he's my boy.
Yep.
um.
But speaking on the topic, since we all watch anime, does anyone want to give any predictions on um Hinata's matchup with I don't know the specific school name, but they are the tournament favorite.
Is it the twins, right?
Yeah, it's the twins. Yeah.
Oh, the twin from against the
Oh.
twins, huh?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whenever I look at Haiku, I feel like that show is just so well written sometimes that I'm like, I feel like they're gonna switch up on me, and like Hinata might not actually win the tournament, and
Mhm.
like
It is funny to see like an
that's coming.
anime
Yeah.
only's perspective on this because
Yeah, exactly.
Because I haven't read the
Yeah.
mangas, like I believe these two both read manga, and so they know what happens. So when I look at how the season ended, and he like walks into the gymnasium and he's ready, you're like, man, like you really want to root for him, but like because the show is the way it is, you're like, honestly,
Wow, it's
Hinata
like
might
they introduced
actually,
such, like a variety of characters
yeah,
that make
Yeah.
you fall like not fall like I'm gonna say like kind of fall in home of love them.
yeah,
Like
for sure.
the entire group
it's
is so
amazing
good.
how you can make love an enemy. Like I
Yeah.
Oh,
believe it
100%.
was it
the
Shira
Great King?
Torizawa?
What's that?
Yeah,
Final
Torizawa.
Yeah.
it's just
With
like
Oikawa? Or not
yeah,
Oikawa. I forgot his name.
I forgot his name.
Ushiwaka?
Yeah, Ushiwaka.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm sorry for like butchering the pronunciation of
Yup.
these
Don't
names to
Yeah,
anyone.
don't
for
worry about
sure.
it. That's gonna happen.
It's amazing because you really fall in love with like his character and how like
Mhm.
he's just a powerhouse to them.
Yeah, I
And
feel the
like
same way about season 1 and 2 where they introduced Oikawa.
Hmm.
And his entire story wasn't based about like being a prodigy or having like super
it
super
was
good
pure.
skills.
It was
Yeah,
pure
it was
effort.
pure. Yeah, exactly. And that's something like
Mm.
you sort of expect from a main character, but it's kind of interesting to have it like
A
perceived as
secondary
like
character, right? Yeah.
exactly or like sort of like in a villain role, you know?
It makes
That's
you really
true.
root for like the villain more than you
Exactly,
think.
exactly.
I don't know,
And
like the characters are so well
Tony and me can
defined.
really say that because of
Yeah.
God damn it! You know I'll fight you.
win this. But just talking about like most like anticipated animes. What do you like? What are you kind of looking forward to the
So,
most? Really?
so for me, what I'm looking forward to, I believe Black Clover actually aired their 133rd episode like a couple
Mhm.
hours ago,
Yeah, I think that's
and
today.
dude, like I heard like the next, like I've been kind of spoiled on it. Also, spoiler warnings. This entire show is one big spoiler, but I believe so. If you've never watched these shows, like trust me when we say that you probably should go ahead and watch them. They're some of the best like television, not just anime. Like I watch a lot of TV, and like some of these shows have such great character development, such great story development. You just want to keep following. You fall in love with the characters and the story.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure.
For me, it's your high school snafu. I forgot the whole name, but like
I think a
recently
big thing
started
they
watching
shortened
that
it
show.
to is Oragairo.
Oh,
Yeah, they did.
I believe like I've been watching that show a lot. I recently started watching it, and like I just finished the second season.
I know personally. A big point of my other friends, like the other guys
Mhm.
that we know, they love that anime.
Mhm.
Like it is one of their favorite like slice of life drama, romance, all that kind of animes because
Mhm.
it's like
Yeah.
it's very solid and it kind of makes you kind of like really root for like Hachiman.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. Whenever I look at Hachiman, you're like, he's such like a nihilist, and you look at him, he's like, and like it's so refreshing to see him like, every episode like slowly becoming less and less like, so like numb to life itself, and you're like, dude,
Yeah,
you
he's
just
willing
want
to
him to,
explore and like
yeah,
go out of his bubble a bit more,
It's
right?
an interesting because you get to see the growth of the character very
Exactly.
visibly, more visibly than I would say a lot of other animes.
Yeah.
In all
it's
honesty,
definitely a really good show. Like I'm
Mhm.
so excited to see what they come up with next.
Yeah, for sure.
I
'Cause,
guess
I
another
believe
one.
that's actually coming out this summer in 2020
I believe
season.
that's also coming. I believe the next episode comes out in a day. Everyone's saying episode 1 comes out in 1 day and 14 hours. I have
Oh,
it
that's
up
gonna
right
be.
now. Um,
Mhm.
I also do like the service club part of it too. I think it's kind of cool. Like the way that he's like changing is by helping other people, becoming more like
Yeah.
associated with like society, I guess.
Mhm.
So I think that's a cool aspect of the show. Another show I'm looking forward to is Sword Art. I've been like really excited for Sword Art. Like,
Of course, of
uh,
course.
Sword Art fans
we love Alice.
are like one of the craziest fans. Honestly speaking, they either love or hate Sword Art in the weirdest ways possible.
But I feel like Sword Art switched up. It's not necessarily their style, but like,
I think where the direction Sword Art's really going at this point
mhm.
is really nice and really good.
Mm.
They have,
I've said this so many times. I think like these last two arcs have been by far their best arcs animated so far.
Mm.
I don't know about you guys, but
I think
especially
it's
one.
beautifully done.
Yeah,
Like
I love
animated
it.
wise,
I think so too.
like I'm really looking for like animation wise to Fire Force actually.
Dude, I have not watched
Fire
Fire Force, but like it's on
Okay.
my
I have not
list.
watched
Fire
that.
Force
Also,
is
TJ, do you
a
have
solid
your TJ? Do you have your anime list updated by the way?
my anime list.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
dude,
like I feel like at
I
the,
don't even try to update it
because I feel
anymore.
like we should start putting that in our like in our description so people want to see what we rate shows. It should go to the bottom.
Okay, then you know what? Let me hold up on that
Yeah,
because
definitely. Don't
I
worry
will I will go back and rate all my anime. Then.
about it. I definitely think that's like one thing we should do for everyone.
Yeah,
Put
but it'll
things in the
take me a
comment
few
section.
days because I have
Yeah,
it's like 400 things on that
don't
list.
even worry about it. But
For sure.
anyways, back on topic, my dumbass. But yeah, I heard that there's, although this is supposed to be like Sword Art's like final season, I heard there like in the manga there is another arc, and people are saying that arc is really really good.
Okay, a big thing from what I know is it usually goes light novel, manga, anime, right?
Yeah.
But from what I see, the manga doesn't really update as fast compared to the light novel, which is
Okay.
probably on like I think it's like almost 18th volume in Japan.
Oh.
I'm not completely sure.
Yeah.
But like from what I hear in the like the light novel community for Sword Art, it is amazing. It is
Yeah.
like Authorization and War for the Underworld,
Yeah.
everything leading up and forward is amazing
Mm.
compared to like the first few seasons.
Damn, that
Yeah, for
sounds so
sure.
exciting.
Other than that, it's
Yeah.
just like that was summer 2020, fall 2020 is like
Yeah.
I'm more or less looking forward to like How to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon
Oh.
and
Oh yeah.
to Kaisen
hmm
and Irregular at a Magic High School because that's one of my personal favorites.
Oh, I don't think I've ever watched either of those. I'm gonna have to watch.
That one's on Netflix.
Oh.
So that's why
Yeah.
I recommend. I do recommend watching it in some sense. Take it with a grain of salt, definitely.
Okay,
Yeah.
now that I think we kind of like expressed what we were looking forward to, one of the biggest animes or most hyped up animes so far has been God of High School, which is a Crunchyroll original. I know episode 1 just came out, and I was wondering, what do you guys think about it so far?
That opening has no reason being that fire. It has.
Dude.
It gives me straight like EDM rave vibes.
You
and
like
I'm
the opening
so
better?
wait, I love the opening. That is
I think
so good.
I prefer the closing. I think
Oh
it's
my
way
God.
better, bro. I think it's just so mellow, so chill, dude. I like it a lot more.
the opening ending.
hmm
It's like they're solid for the anime, honestly speaking, because they really encompass the whole anime
Yeah, it's
and like the webtoon really well.
hmm
the like God of High School, from what I can see from just the first episode, because I've read the webtoon up to the latest point,
Oh wow.
Right.
Okay.
so I can successfully say it's surprising. It's
Really?
very surprising how it is.
Did I don't know. So I definitely don't read the webtoons. I didn't know that God of High School was coming out. This is just something that, like, everyone told me, is like, hey, you really should watch this, and it was blowing up all over Twitter yesterday. So I was like, you know what? I might as well give it a watch. And wow, what a show! The name really threw me off. So I thought it would be like some really mellow show about like some guy who was like really popular in high school. I took it a little too literally.
The name really throws you
And then-
like out of its head.
And then honestly, man, like what happened, like that the battle royale scene like was absolutely insane. But I feel like they kind of rushed you into meeting all the characters.
Of course.
Like it was just like it was such like a
that was the point I
whoa,
was gonna
like all the
bring up,
characters.
actually, because from the webtoon
Mhm.
to the anime, I can see that a lot of detail in introduction
Mm-hmm.
was kind of cut out, and
Oh, okay.
how each character was kind of introduced was much longer.
Oh.
But that's the thing about like webtoon versus manga. A lot of the
Mhm.
time, it's colored. Like
Yeah.
it's colored in, and art style gets really implemented into the actual animation a lot.
Mm.
And God of High School has solid like art style and
It
animation,
does.
and it gives you really like, wow, they really care about this,
Yeah.
because Crunchyroll either put a lot of money into production, and that's very evident through like
Mhm.
the whole chase scene with the thief.
That was awesome. I loved it. But
Like I was solid like impressed. I'm like, wow, they put a lot of budget into just this,
yeah.
and that's honestly interesting. It is sad to me though that it's been like, it's 13 episodes from what I hear.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of like, oh, how are they gonna fit it in? Because I'm like,
I
It's-
feel like
it's
that was just
400. It's 472 webtoon chapters.
Oh.
but there's no way they're doing
Yeah.
all of that in one season.
There's
no
no
way.
way. There's no way. It's definitely gonna be like, it's probably gonna get another season.
Yeah, for sure. But I think another popular webtoon that was recently adapted was Tower of God, and
Dude.
I personally
Wow.
watched the entire anime, but going on Reddit, reading from a lot of like responses and learning about the opinions of webtoon readers, I know a lot of them stated that they rushed a lot of the stuff, they left out a lot of information,
Hmm.
and
Oh,
I don't know how you guys feel
no.
about like them personally rushing to get it out, or sort of like adapting every single detail. I don't know how you guys feel about that, because personally
I think
I thought it was still great.
I think it was
yeah.
still great as well. But the whole point of like important details are details being left out in anime and like animation.
Mhm.
I think it's important to notice, because like remember, like these animation studios especially,
Mhm.
they don't have the budget to do everything.
I agree.
Right.
Right. It's hard
Right,
to animate everything.
And they also have like a time they have to encompass a lot of the time too,
Yeah.
Mhm.
because they're broadcasting it to actual like stations within Korea, Japan, and
sure.
like the Eastern Asian world.
Yeah.
And definitely for Tower of God,
Mhm.
all me and my boys hate Rachel.
all
we
my
hate
boys say
Rachel.
we hate Rachel.
We all hate Rachel.
I was so
Um,
frustrated. That I can't believe she switched up on him like that.
Wait, you could tell something was gonna happen.
Yeah,
The episode was going too perfectly. Like,
You knew she was sus the whole time.
of course,
Dude,
of course.
like why was she hiding herself? Like clearly something was up with her. I just didn't think she'd push him out of bubble. Like that shit hurt.
She actually she tried to kill him basically.
Yeah,
like,
she's
one
like-
second, so,
I
don't
can't
know.
to find someone that greedy. Like top 10 anime
For sure.
betrayals 2020. Like
Yeah, honestly, I agree with you.
it hurts so much. It hurt me as a person when I saw that. But yeah, back to God of High School.
Mhm.
The chase scene was pretty cool. The robbery scene. It was kind of cool. It seemed a little bit more modern. You see him listening to like a live stream while walking down
That's
the
the
road.
thing. I didn't expect them to put a lot of emphasis on that one like live stream, the beatboxer, right? Because that's
Yeah.
like one panel.
But I think
within the webtoon.
I think that's a really cool like way of like introducing the characters as well. I think that was
Because it's very like episode 1 was very like introducing like this is happening. this is what's happening.
Yeah.
We're not gonna beat around the bush with all the details.
I guess you're
Straight
right
to
though. I guess you're right though. Like that although it felt, in my opinion, felt kind of rushed. It also kind of felt like, oh, they just want to get to like the true meaning of the books or of the webtoon. Sorry.
Mhm.
And I mean, the three main characters are kind of interesting though. Like, did you see like they hinted at him fighting this Blondie? Like they just named him Blondie.
for sure.
That was
Mhm.
Jin. And then
Yep.
did you see Han when he punched like absolutely like everyone
Yeah.
around him?
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
like when Mira, is it me and then Ra, or is it just because in the like subs for me it was saying Mira as one thing?
It just her full name was like Mira Yu.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So I would just say Mira
Yep.
for now because like
But
I'm
yeah.
not completely sure on like pronunciation or like
Well,
proper way.
we'll
of saying
figure
it.
that out. But I was just like,
Like
dude, that
that's
is
how it is.
so cool. Like, and then her with her sword when she like sliced up everyone, and then it was like a freeze frame,
Wait,
and then
That was something that was weird to me because I thought this was strictly martial arts, and then I see people coming in with swords,
But
bats. Yeah,
I
I'm like,
guess
what?
you're like, wait,
No,
just a minute. That's kind of
super,
unfair.
it's super interesting because it takes a weird turn much later in. I would say it's gonna be there,
I'll
but
beat
you
your
guys,
ass.
you guys, all I'm gonna say is you guys will be invested and you will be
Oh,
interested.
dude, I think that will be one of the shows that I am super interested in, though. That show
Because,
really fits kind of my
like
like
what was
genre.
who like from what you've seen so far, who's like your favorite character just visual aspect wise? Like
Jin.
Oh, I think Han.
Really, you
Han,
like
Han,
Han?
Han gives me those like Ichigo vibes.
here's the thing. Han's my favorite character.
Yes.
Oh.
That's my favorite character.
So I have a
Han
quick
is-
question. Are they like are those three main characters, or is it like Jin is
Those are
definitely,
the
or is
those are
Jin
the three
definitely the main character?
protagonists, but it's like it centers
Hmm.
around Mori Jin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I guess that's fair, but I thought like Mira was also a really cool character. I died when she ran to into the road sign.
Bro, yes. Dude, when she was on the bike and her
She's on the
face
bike.
was
That,
like,
that really gave me like kind of like old school anime vibes.
Mhm.
Not gonna lie, with how
wait,
like
have you guys watched Defrag?
Yeah, I love Defrag.
Yeah.
I feel like the comedy style was exactly the same for a few of those scenes. That was like the first thing that really stuck into me.
Yeah, it's got
Like
a
it's
great
so
sense of comedy.
outlandish and
Yeah.
like, over the top.
So I guess that's one thing, right? I wasn't expecting the show to be so like outlandish, right? It wasn't. It was just like, oh, I thought it would be more like down to earth, like realistic.
yeah.
Turns
Yeah.
out she's running into stop signs that her face imprinted into it and like
Yeah.
walking off like it was nothing.
no. What really killed me is her like interest in men at the really very
Yeah, with the
beginning.
muscles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but like, I think it was the very first scene where it was a bunch of the business
Mhm.
guys on the island, and then
Oh.
5 seconds later, the guy in the office takes his hand and slams it on his desk, and you
Dude.
can see he just
Oh.
destroyed the entire island. I was like, what?
Park
Is this?
Moo Jin.
Oh.
Yeah, it was
Mhm.
that was nuts to me. I know you talked about a battle royale,
Mhm.
but I think the first scene is what like really caught my
It's
attention.
very impactful, and that's actually how they started the webtoon as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they did pull one for one from that.
Yeah, the order of events is like very much the same.
Okay. At least they're doing like keeping things within the same realm.
Mhm.
I'm glad they're not completely just straying away from the webtoon. So that's
Mhm.
nice. But yeah,
Just like
dude,
if you guys had have to like rate the episode so far, like from everything you've watched, how would you feel like so far?
I'll let someone else go first.
Okay, as an opening episode, I'd probably give it a 7. I feel like it was a bit rushed. And it did give us some sort of plot, like you gotta beat everyone, become the best, and you get one wish, right?
Yeah.
That's what the restriction was.
Mhm.
But it didn't really like establish like a rival besides the blonde guy where there was like no really like character development or any background
Mhm.
given. So it does establish the main characters, but that's about it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm in very much in agreement with Toonie and
Mhm.
like 7, kind of like out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a lot of context that could have been given, in my opinion, that wasn't.
Hmm.
That would help in like a better kind of introduction towards GOH.
Yeah, for me, I think I am at like a 7 as well. Like, it felt so rushed, and like I felt like I've never read the webtoon or anything, but like I could just feel it while watching the show. You're just like, man, something's missing here that's supposed to be here, and I'm just not getting the kind of context I want for who Jin is, who Mira is, or or Jin as
Han.
well, or Han.
like
Yeah,
their
I was just like,
background with
yeah,
everything.
you just
Yeah.
so
And I think that's very evident for what you say because
Yeah.
like it was one scene after the other.
yeah, just
It really was.
bang, bang, bang. You see him on his bike, robbery, Mira,
Yeah.
hits Mira, breaks glasses, Han's walking down the road listening to a live stream. And you're just like, and they didn't even tell you their names until like they entered the arena.
Yeah.
So you're just like, oh, like,
And that's the thing. It's like a beginning of the webtoon was like an introduction to each character separately
oh, that's cool.
as well. So like how they got into GOH because remember
Oh, yeah,
in the
we
park
never-
where everyone was the martial artists like
Mhm.
oh they selected some people
Yeah,
but we don't know how.
yeah. So was that
Right.
like the animators like a cop out for the animators to say, we're just gonna skip that part, or what?
It
what do
might
you
be
think?
or they might like flashback it in the next
Um,
episode. We're not sure though. Right?
Mm.
Yep.
So I guess that's one thing to watch out for, like the next episodes, is to be like, oh, are they gonna do flashbacks, or are they just gonna completely ignore the fact that we have no idea how
Like
they got
of
into the tournament?
why everyone's kind of doing it, right?
Yeah, and why certain people were recruited and why certain were not. So I mean,
Because like I will tell like everyone who joins GOH
Mhm.
has a goal in mind.
oh, that's cool.
Okay, see that like having that context behind each character would be a lot better because I don't know who Jin is, I don't know who Han is, I don't
Yeah.
know who Mira is. I just know that they're just trying to get to the top of this, or they're just trying to win this battle royale. Actually, you know.
I feel like you don't even know that though. Like, he just kind of like he was
Yeah,
excited
actually,
to go somewhere, and like,
yeah, you might be right. I think like the main character Jin specifically, I think he
Mhm.
just cares more about the rematch with the blonde guy compared to
yeah, like he looks so
actually like
invested.
winning the battle royale.
I don't know. I couldn't. Something about it just didn't like sit perfectly well with me. But I think so. Like key scenes that like really like pushed me towards like giving it a good rating though. Where it was the island scene where like slammed his hand.
Yeah.
The announcer switching up and saying, "Haha, psych! It's a battle royale, not a 1v1 thing." And that really cool. I think honestly, I think the live stream chase scene thing was pretty cool too. Like,
Yeah, it was.
those were like the three like starting points of the episode though. Like those are the three main parts. I think they did a good job of like selling the anime, right? Like they're like,
Yeah, I think it was like introductory wise, it's a solid way to do it for like anime viewers and like all that. I just wish there was a bit more like less. I'm sorry to say joking around because I believe GOH is kind of more serious
Really?
at this point afterwards,
okay,
and giving more context into like what the story and why people are doing what they're doing.
For sure. But
Yeah.
now that we've spoken about GOH and Tower of God, which are two of like Crunchyroll's like first attempts at animating sort of webtoons, what do you guys think about Crunchyroll really like diving deep into this? Like, do you think it's successful? Do you think they're putting enough money? Do you think they're rushing things specifically?
So I'll go first since I have like the least amount of like experience in this. But for me, I think like Crunchyroll did. I think they did a really cool thing in investing in like webtoons. I think that's a great like starting platform because it gives a lot of people the ability to be like, I don't have to be a mainstream like manga writer to get my content out there. It's a really cool system, right? It allows people to, even if you're not like the most famous person.
Personally, the webtoon app it allows for creators to actually upload their own content, art, things.
So I think
like
that's
that.
really cool.
That's how like the Tower of God actually got a thing popular.
Yeah, and I think so. For me, I think Crunchyroll's like they're actually heading in the right direction. If this is like something that they want to do, I feel like the animation feels a little rushed, but I think they're just trying to push content out because like people love these webtoons and webtoons are just up. I feel like webtoons is still up and coming. They aren't like a defined brand.
They're trying to really get that market out there.
So they're trying to get the market out there
and present it to be like, yeah, this is actually solid. We're not trying to like deter you from this.
Yeah, exactly. So even if I feel like Tower of God and God of High School are like their two starting platforms. I feel like if these do like solid 8s, like if they get 8 out of 10s from everyone, that's a good starting point. Like, what if you start to like really take like don't take two shows off at once. Like, really focus in on like one show and do a really good job of like recreating the webtoon. Like, I think Crunchyroll isn't heading in the right path.
Speaking of that, right? You can see like the clear differences also when like we're talking about animation between like Tower of God and
look at this difference
and God of High School. But that's the thing.
Look at the difference.
If they're really like adapting webtoons, right? You can also see the fact and matter that these webtoons all have different art styles.
Yeah.
I think
like two popular ones, very popular ones, are okay. I'll bring up three. One is very old and has been confirmed to get like an anime for a lot of people. It's something called Noblesse. Other is called Lore Olympus, and the other is called Unordinary. All with vastly different art styles, and the only thing comparison in terms of art style I could probably do is Noblesse and God of High School.
Oh, okay.
Because Lore Olympus is very like pastel colorish.
Oh.
Yes. Unordinary is very like drawn, like more manga style kind of drawn, but comic almost.
Oh.
And you can see like, especially with God of High School and Tower of God, how they look different as well, even as webtoons.
For sure, they do. I think one of our friends, Wes, actually said that he felt like the action scenes in God of High School were a bit blurry. I don't know.
Blurry?
Where you guys... Yeah, that's what he said. I think he said blurry was the word he used, but you could definitely tell the differences in animation between... Or in action scenes between Tower of God and God of High School. So
whenever I look at like Tower of God, whenever I look at Tower of God, I feel like it was purposely done to have a different like animation style because it feels more visceral. It feels more like old timey. It feels like, I don't know, something about like.
I think it really stayed like true to like the artist's actual art.
That's cool too. Yeah. I didn't watch read the webtoons, but if they're trying to like pay homage to like the artist itself, I think that's a really cool way of continuing that style. I'd be happy.
I know personally, like I've gotten a lot of comments from some people, right, that said, "Wow, this art style is like really odd, or animation style is really odd because they kept it true to the thing instead of changing it up." Which you can see with a lot of like other anime implementing like CGI more and more. Like
that's a big point. That is a big point because I remember early Black Clover they did like an entire arc where like the main villain was like CGI and it just looked horrible. But like if you go through the actual manga and read it, like the way the author draws it, it's so like in depth and like beautiful to like say like to give a word. But I was just wondering if you guys think that Crunchyroll like sort of like exploring this niche of webtoons is like, do you think they could find success behind it?
I honestly think it's like an untapped market because, in all honesty, in the Western society, it's much different, I guess, because we focus on like a lot of anime, like Japanese anime, right?
Right.
And Western animation, but in like Korea, China, and Japan, they have these varying art styles and animations that you can't really compare sometimes a lot, even with in-depth story. Like I understand we have like things like Secret Saturdays, Scooby-Doo, and all that with different animation styles as well. But the way like Korean webtoons do it, it's the own artist's point of view, just written out into an animation, a play-by-play almost.
That's pretty cool. Like when I looked at, I was kind of surprised. Like that's the first time, like when I saw they were at a Korean stadium instead of in God of High School. It wasn't like a Japanese, and I thought that was pretty cool. Like usually it's already a stated thing. It's a Japanese setting, right? Like for the most part. So it was kind of cool to see a different place, and a different. I guess maybe we'll see like a different like type of person. Maybe I don't know how they'll go about with it, but. It's kind of cool.
Experience a different culture too.
Yeah, a different culture, right?
No, I definitely can say like the webtoons itself, in comparison to like anime itself, like it's a different like culture because of how it's just presented a lot of the time as well. You can see that like we see like anime, right, where the animation or like the style is always like big eyes, round ass head, and like how it is sometimes for the plot, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
It's but like the way I see it with like Lore Olympus, Unordinary, God of High School thing, right? I'm just gonna go. I know I'm bringing up this point a lot, but like, it's the art.
Mm-hmm.
The difference in art gets animated
Mm-hmm.
way more, and it gives a chance for like aspiring authors and artists to really bring them up as well.
For sure. No, it is a great point because honestly, like getting into anime, I've never heard of webtoons. I've never like seen one. I've never read one. I've never done any of that. But sort of Crunchyroll, like diving into this, it sort of like opens the door for me experiencing new stories,
Mm-hmm.
new cultures, like you said, because a lot of mangas, in my opinion, they're pretty like there's a lot of things that are overused and overdone in specific mangas,
Like
like
niches, right?
exactly. So hopefully this will sort of like expand like the horizons as to what is considered an anime or what is included in an anime.
That's
Mm-hmm.
true.
Yep.
And I think that leads us on to our final topic. So recently, Crunchyroll finally released the results for its anime rewards for 2020, and I think we should start off with anime of the year.
Should we just like
We can
list
just go.
the
So we can
nominees?
just go down this list that they have. So the nominees for anime of the year were Carol and Tuesday, Demon Slayer, Mob Psycho, Season 2, Oh Maidens in Your Savage Season, The Promised Neverland, and Vinland Saga.
Yep.
And the winner for that was Demon Slayer. In my opinion, no surprise. I think this was a fan voted thing. So I feel like the fan base.
A fan voted thing, but I would also agree that Demon Slayer deserves it in its own right.
Yeah.
For like the amount of sales it actually got.
Their sales are actually outlandish.
Because it got sold out within the first week in Japan.
Really?
Even current manga sales right now, it's number one at like 14 million, and that's like that's a few million above second place right now. Like it's
that's
actually
cool.
it's nuts.
Insane.
Yeah.
Well, like. If
Yeah,
we're talking about that, right, we go into like best protagonist right after.
Yeah.
Right, and the nominees for that were Emma from Promised Neverland, Saitama, oh my god, from One Punch Man season 2, Tanjiro Kamado from Demon Slayer, Yakimaru from Doro, Senku from Doctor Stone, and Toru Honda from Fruit Baskets. Which, in that category, the winner was Senku from Doctor Stone.
Personally, I've never watched Doctor Stone, but if I was voting, I would have gone Emma from Promised Neverland for sure. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get some heat for that.
I personally like think best protagonist wise, in all aspect of like actual character growth and everything, it would be Hyakimaru from Dororo. Because the whole premise is literally he lost all his limbs and literal flesh and eyes, and he's fighting demons to get it back. And he learns emotion.
Well, that is pretty hard.
That is quite the I really liked Tanjiro, like from Demon Slayer as well. Like I mean, he's definitely up there. He could have won it. There was a good chance he could have won this as well. Emma was also a like top tier like protagonist for me. Like she was so good. Like you felt bad for her. Like
I know
a lot of people
sleep on Promised Neverland a lot of the time.
You can't sleep on that show. There's no way.
Yeah.
Like I think it's like so hard to beat.
I was supposed to watch the show like a year ago. I just kept putting it off and off because like you look at the character designs and you think like you think it's gonna be so like kiddie and childish, but like the first episode literally blew my mind.
Oh my god! It's like everyone I think gets blown away by like the first episode and like this is not what I expected. This is not what I expected.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like it's kind of like a psychological thriller at times. Like it's really like it's like it gets you like kind of pressured and like oh my god, what's gonna happen and everything.
Yeah, it keeps you wondering for sure.
But like I think Promised Neverland, my favorite character was like Ray, personally speaking.
Oh, Ray was really insane. Good at that too.
But like for me, like Senku from Doctor Stone, I probably will end up watching that within the next month or so because it's on my list. It's just I have so many shows watching right now, and yeah. Again, I'll have my list in the description below if this ends up on YouTube. And yeah, if we keep going down, we can go to. Oh my god, one of the comments section is best boy, and I'm like, I think of puppies, and I'm like, oh.
Good God.
Yeah, but like let's go on to the next topic. Best antagonist.
Best antagonist. Oh, what a good, what a great.
Yep. Look at that.
Look at that. So the nominees were, Magase from Babylon. Babylon. And Angela from Carol and Tuesday. How do you say this one? Axelide from Vinland Saga. Garu from One Punch Man Season 2. And Overhaul from My Hero Academia. Oh my god, don't even get me started. And Isabella from The Promised Neverland. And the winner was Isabella from The Promised Neverland.
I think they got it.
I think
they
it was
hit the nail on
right.
I
think it was just like this one was like straight up.
Yep.
It has
like,
to be
no question.
It had to be.
No question at all.
I think your story is just so like it's so complex and like mind-boggling.
It's something like you don't normally see.
Dude, when Ray started like humming that like song and she's like, where did you hear that song from? Like,
then you realize that's her kid.
Absolute chills down my spine. Like, it was so like that story was so intertwined. Like, I didn't expect it. I think Tooney said he did expect it, and like, or he expected like something along the lines, but I was completely blown away by it. Like, and I was like so shook, and I was like, wow, this show really messed with me.
The crazy part was like she was so like she lived in fear so much that like she was willing to like sort of sell her own kid to like the demons or whatever. You know? Because back in her in her childhood, she did try to escape. She tried to do what Emma did. Yeah, and at the end of the anime, you could see her sort of take her own life and sort of wish the kids like
good luck,
success. Yeah, for sure. So I think they definitely got this correct. But I want to know your opinion on Overhaul. I know.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited to talk about it. I mean, I'm a huge Boku no Hero fan, and like Overhaul was I can't say he was like sophisticated character.
Honestly speaking, he was an interesting villain.
Yeah.
Because what he did is he took a dark twist to what was actually like wanted by his like father figure in a sense, right?
Right.
I feel like
for me, like I think like a close second in my personal opinion was Axelad from Vinland Saga. Because like his character is so deep within like the anime. And it really plays into like the whole points of like the Nordic drama in almost in sense. It was amazing, his character.
Yeah, but like for Overhaul, I just felt that he wasn't I don't feel like he was deep enough. He wasn't like intertwined in like the story. Sometimes like there's episodes that they just completely stray away from the topic of like of Overhaul and like the whole villain side. And
I feel like they didn't give him enough motivation for him to go out and like do the actions that he did. You know?
I think they kind of like more romanticized them a little more than they needed to, because it's like they really need to know like his plans were big. His plans were like would destroy the like quirk kind of community.
But like him and like was it the first episode where it's Lemillion and Deku out on the streets where they find him? That's the first episode of season
with like Harry and everything.
I believe like that part, like when you go back and think about that, where you see him on the streets and like Deku saying, "I will save this girl," I think that like if they had kept that like that much focus on him and Yuri and like that entire thing, I feel like he could have been top tier like villain. But
I will say he is, in my opinion, top tier just because I felt like this season actually had consequences. They actually
there was a lot.
They basically, I'm not gonna say killed, but they basically got rid of Lemillion and his quirk, right? I feel like this was like the first season where there really was a consequence to having a fight. You know, it wasn't just going into the fight. Oh, Deku's gonna 100% smash like the villain away.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like they did such a good job of saying there is no more symbol of hope. with no All Might anymore. This was the full first season without a symbol of hope, right? A pillar of peace, I believe. Is that what it is?
Like I think the biggest thing for me like that season was just Endeavor.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a monster.
What a 180.
Like, oh my god, the scene.
Yeah.
The very
like I hate this school model.
Yeah, but I'm
Lost
gonna
Ultra Prominence Burn.
Oh my god,
scene,
dude,
I'm just
chills.
like,
and then at the end he raises his arm, but it's the opposite arm from All Might's.
Wait, is that really? It's the opposite arm?
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a cool little detail.
Oh, but like, let's go on to Best Boy from here, I guess.
Don't do that.
let's do this because like
wow, but yeah, I feel like antagonists are such a good conversation though because there's so many good ones.
Antagonists, it's so hard to like because you really feel for them. You really kind of feel for them, especially I think like Isabella, like Overhaul.
Yeah, I feel like
personally Garo was like an interesting villain as well, like how you felt for him. Like everyone here in their own way.
Garo was interesting actually. Like he wasn't everything you thought he'd be, but then...
as we were saying, the best boy, because like
best boy.
That's an interesting topic I want to bring up because like the nominees were Bruno Bucciarati from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind, Kanata Hoshijima from Astro Lost in Space, Shigeo Mob Kageyama from Mob Psycho 102, Hyakumaru from Dororo, Naruto Makio from How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift, and Tanjiro Kamado from Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. And of course it's Tanjiro. I honestly think this is just like because Demon Slayer was such a big anime that he won.
It was so mainstream.
It was so mainstream because like me personally, I think Bruno Bucciarati should have won.
Really?
Because I'm a big JoJo fan, personally speaking, right? And that might be because of my bias on that. But Bruno literally just helped out orphans and straight made them like literally stay away from the gangs.
Okay.
And his like literally the whole thing is him trying to form a thing to stop the war on drugs in Italy.
I mean, that is pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, it's like.
For me personally, I only watched Demon Slayer on the list, so that's my vote.
I watched Demon Slayer.
I guess that's how it has.
Yeah. But that's the thing about having a big like mainstream like anime character in these like sort of votes, you know.
It's so hard not to vote for them. Be like, oh wait, I've only seen that one.
But exactly. I think a lot of the times with the Crunchyroll awards, a big problem people have is, wow, this is very just mainstream content always. Yeah. Like, it's like you're just obviously got to have the winners a lot of time because I believe the 2019 awards was just Boku no Hero. Boku no Hero. Boku no Hero.
Was that last year? All of last year was pretty much Boku no?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. So I think we're gonna do the one right underneath this, and I'm gonna skip a few because like there's just so many categories. So the next category is Best Girl, and so the nominees are Carol from Carol and Tuesday, Chica. Oh, we love Chica. She's top tier. I'm so upset, so mad that she didn't win. Emma from The Promised Neverland, Kohaku from Dr. Stone, Nezuko. Oh my god, how didn't she win? And how do you say the last name? I don't want to butcher it.
Raftalia.
And Raftalia from The Rising of the Shield Hero. Yep. And the winner was Raftalia from The Rising of the Shield Hero.
I also agree with this.
Rigged.
I agree with this because of one reason. Because okay, based on this was based like the winner was just solely based on the manga community.
Okay.
Really?
I solely believe so because everyone like in the manga subreddit for Reddit was like for a solid 2 months we're like Raftalia best girl. Raftalia best girl no matter what. They're like Chica was there.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
But that's because of Chica dance and everything.
Yeah,
right?
the Chica dance and everything. But I thought she was hilarious. Like Chica's definitely one of the funniest characters, and like she's so bubbly. I think that's why like she's so fun, and I feel like those moments where she like goes insane, like trying to like help him do the dance, for example. I don't know if you've seen
how to learn volleyball.
How to learn volleyball. Like oh my god, those scenes are absolutely hilarious, and her sound effects. You know, there's a YouTube video with like 4 million views of just Chica sound effects.
Oh, of course.
Like, oh, and it's like, who doesn't love it, right? She's insane. But
wait, have you watched Shield Hero, Casey?
no, it's on my list. Like,
Yeah,
literally
because
on
it's
my
like
list.
the character, like development and the story for
Oh,
Raphtalia specifically, it is so good. I won't
yeah.
go too into detail, but like you kind of see her from like when she's super young and she
Oh
grows and
shit.
grows and grows, and it's sort of like this whole process of like her like opening up and becoming like more friendly, more I don't know the word, but
Like
she does
I think open with her heart a lot of the time.
Oh, that's
exactly
cute.
for sure.
So
And
is she
I
like
think
super
that's
closed off?
she is at the beginning for
Okay.
sure, but yeah, over time you could definitely see the progression in her character, and I think
Hmm.
that's one big reason why she won the award.
I see Emma's also in here from The Promised Neverland, and so I'm also surprised that maybe she isn't up there as well. But I guess she's not best girl. She's more of like a character you don't like go, oh, she's the girl of the show. She's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
right.
exactly.
Also Nezuko's there. Big mad she didn't win. We love Nezuko. She's awesome.
Oh no.
We love Nezuko-chan. But like we love her. I think she's also a great character.
The fans were like, "Ooh."
I feel like she's a great character, but like it's hard for her to have development, right? So
For sure.
so I think we're gonna skip down to best animation because
Yeah,
I'm tempted to
this
see.
is one I really wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I'm tempted to see what this is. I'll let you do the names for it. Actually, go ahead.
Yeah, so Attack on Titan season 3, Fate Grand Order. I don't know how to pronounce the next one to be honest with you, TJ. If you wanna.
Sarazanamai.
Yeah, yeah, I have no idea what that is. But
Zanmai.
Demon
Sarazanamai.
Slayer, Mob Psycho 102, and Vinland Saga.
Mm-hmm.
And winner surprisingly was Mob Psycho 100, which absolutely shocked me. I was gonna say Demon Slayer should win that hands down. So
Oh.
I honestly think like I think all of those had like very very good animation like for that season like for that just everything that's happened.
yeah,
Amazing animation.
Whenever I look at it, I thought Vinland Saga would have won. Like, whenever I see like trailers of Vinland Saga and stuff, the
Vinland
animation
Saga
looks
is
so good.
honestly that. Here's the thing, a lot of people. I remember this one because a lot of people were saying Vinland Saga should have won.
Oh, okay. Yeah, do you think a lot of the Mob Psycho has to do with like the intro and just the vibrant colors like scheme that they use?
I honestly, yeah, because like a lot of the time with Mob Psycho, because I watched 1 and 2 at this point, right? It's interesting how it turns from this bland character, and when he loses control, in a sense, to this very detailed, very well animated storyline and fight scenes to drama to everything.
That's cool. Yeah, I definitely need to watch Mob Psycho. It's again on my list. My list is massive. I've only been watching anime for honestly like a year, probably less than a year to be honest. Like, Toonie has been begging me to watch anime, and like I've always like given it a bad like taste, and I'm like, you know what? He said watch Boku no Hero, right? You like Marvel movies, you're like, you know what? It kind of has like a superhero vibe to it, and I'm like, you know what? Fine, I'll give it a watch, and since Boku no Hero, I haven't stopped watching anime for like 8 months now.
Boku no Hero honestly hooks people on.
Yeah, it does.
I feel like it depends though. Like some people get invested in shit, and like I get super invested in characters, and I guess that's a lot of what anime is character development. Like
I feel like it's just so similar to like Western like culture in regards to like storytelling, cartoons, movies, things like that. Like I feel like it's something that's like the concept is super easy to grab.
I think I have a lot of comparison to like comics.
Yeah, exactly.
I personally like comics and manga as well. Comics a lot of the time you can see like ever since like I think like the 2010s like they've taken on more of like a darker turn.
Yeah, they've gotten really good.
All that.
DC
but manga, the mangas, right? You can see from like Fairy Tale for God's sakes, for like up to Boku no Hero. It's really like a lot more. It does take dark turns in its own right, but you see the more inspirational, much more blatantly, especially with Boku no Hero, as in like the symbol of hope.
Yeah.
Never giving up and all that kind of stuff. Like fighting through like a lot of things.
yeah, so I guess I'm gonna go for the next topic we should go for would probably be
You want to
best
do best fight
fight
scene?
scene. Right
Yeah.
there. Best fight scene, which is I'll let TJ go because names are not my strong point.
Yeah.
Okay, so the nominees for best fight scene: Emperor Crimson versus Metallica, JoJo's
Metallic.
Bizarre Adventure,
Okay.
Golden Wind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying this right now. JoJo really butcher. They use band names for all their
Oh,
like
that's
stands.
cool. Wait, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be King Crimson.
Oh,
King Crimson versus Metallica, JoJo's Bizarre
I
thing.
see.
Mob versus Toichiro.
Mm-hmm.
Mob Psycho to 102.
Mm-hmm.
Thorfinn versus Thorkel. Finland Saga. I fucked that up. It's really hard to say. Levi or Levi, as some people say,
Yeah,
versus the Beast Titan. Honestly, one of my favorite kind of scenes.
probably.
Beautiful.
Tanjiro versus and Nezuko versus Rui. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. Ushiwaka Amaru versus Tiamat. Fate Grand Order, Absolute Demonic Front, Babylonia.
Mm.
Mhm.
And the winner for that was Tanjiro and Nezuko versus Rui, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba.
I almost completely agree with it. I feel like that scene was so
Okay,
intense.
I understand all the fight scenes here,
Yeah.
but the pure animation and the reason why a person would tell you
Yeah.
to watch Demon Slayer
It was this scene,
is
right?
this one fight.
Yep.
Because this
Absolutely
one fight
ridiculous.
is ridiculous and it shows the struggle between the characters and the
Mm-hmm.
whole story and what they're fighting for
Oh.
so well.
It
Mm.
does.
I think like with Demon Slayer, like that scene was so good. You could see like Tanjiro's struggle for like wanting to save, and then him like not being strong enough, and like the frustration. Like you almost feel his frustration and like his desperation, and you feel for the character so much, and you just want him to win.
It's like you're able to connect
Yeah.
to the character much
know-
more.
I know you talk about desperation there, but it's funny to point out that he didn't even really kill the villain at the end, you know?
yeah.
Like right when he got off the final slash and like the whole explosion happens, the villain actually takes off his like he snaps off his own head, right? And then Tanjiro has to wait on Gyu to come and actually kill the villain. But it's crazy that this one best fight scene, considering there wasn't really a strict ending within that specific fight, you know?
Mm.
I think that
Mhm.
that kind of just speaks to the quality of like the animation, like even like the choreography.
I
Is that
guess
the word?
that's true. It's choreography. Fights are choreographed, right? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
and I feel like with fight scenes though, it's also like storytelling, right? It's like them telling
for
a
sure.
story of what's going on, the back and forth between the two. It was so good. Like,
Exactly.
But I do want to say the one other fight on this list that
Oh, it looks like
Good-
someone's
could
home in my
trump
house.
this would
Yeah.
be Levi versus the Beast Titan.
oh my,
because
yeah.
that was straight up
That
beautiful.
that was so like
It was
I
so
don't know. It was
well.
like,
Hopefully,
it's
in
like it gave you
post-
chills, kind of
Yeah.
like.
Mhm.
Hopefully in
was
post we
amazing.
can probably put like a fight scene like somewhere down there
Oh yeah,
of like
for
that
sure.
of like a little clip of what happens, but like Levi was absurd. That was so good.
You could see the pure anger.
Bro,
Yeah,
like
you really can.
it is visceral like what he's doing, and like
Mhm.
it's clinical too, right? Like you look at like how Levi operates, it's like absolutely clinical how he like tackles a situation. He truly is like what was their branch called? The Wingman?
I
The
don't
Survey
know.
Corps.
Yeah, Survey Corps.
Yeah,
I think.
like I think so clinical. Like he truly like showed like his leadership capabilities, right? Like he led by like action, right? It was so good.
Yeah, and even looking at the fight specifically, like
Mm.
looking at the camera work and the way they sort of like move around the characters, showing different perspectives and giving angles on like the actual interaction. It's actually crazy to actually like think about, you know?
Mm.
Um,
You
Yeah.
also see like the skill of the character itself,
Mm.
yeah, for
like,
sure.
how well this man fights,
I
how
think
well he would go to lengths for people as
Mhm.
well.
I think it also showed scale, right? Like it really made the Titans big. You're like, whoa, that like it showed how like small in
small like a
comparison.
human
Yeah,
is.
and it's like, you know, it really shows you like how like skilled you had to be to like take on a
And the
Titan.
ongoing struggle, really.
Yeah. Um, so I'm not gonna really touch on best couple too much. I haven't watched any of the shows except for Attack on Titan and Love Is War. But the winner for that was Kaguya and Miyuki, and like I think that's so obvious. They're so cute. It is not even a competition. They are the cutest couple I've ever seen. Like, how can you be so like negligent to like? I know Toonie hasn't seen season 2 yet, but I really enjoyed season 2. It's probably one of the better seasons out there. I think their relationship takes like an extra step forward compared to usual, and like
I honestly think
must watch.
Kaguya-sama is like one of the best animes to like watch in general.
It's just easy to watch, right? It's you can pick it up and like laugh. Like it's not something you gotta like delve into. It's just
you don't have to invest too much time into it, you know?
Yeah,
exactly.
I think the shorts. I'm surprised they started going so much towards the shorts. Like I think the first couple episodes of the first season were more full length episodes. So 12 minutes and 12 minutes, or 11 and 11, and then like 2 minutes of credits. But like the show has gotten a little bit more shorter segments, and like the narrator is probably one of my favorite characters of all time. That narrator is so funny. Like
it's amazing.
But like definitely I'm glad that they won best couple. And I think to end it off we should do best ending sequences. I don't know, what do you guys think?
For sure, we can.
So ending sequence to end it.
Yeah, ending sequence to end it, I guess. Yeah, sure. Who wants to go?
That's all TJ. I know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna butcher
it. Just say the animes that they're from.
For best ending sequence. Or
just say the animes they're from, because.
Carol and Tuesday, Hold Me Now, Veil, Fire Force, Stand By Me, Saranzamai, Sayonara Goko, Dororo, Chikato Chika Chika, Kaguya-sama, Torches, Vinland Saga. And the winner of that, of course, is Chikato Chika Chika, Kaguya-sama.
Yeah,
I know exactly why Casey wanted to pick this one.
Yeah, please put it right down there, right there. It's gonna go right there, and we're gonna see Chika dancing, cause
it's honestly one of the best endings for an anime, just for the sake of like.
It was only one episode that they showed it for too, right? It was just one episode. Like it was just one episode, and they're like, "Ha, got him!" Like you're only ever gonna see this once, and like you're gonna treasure
but it left
though.
such a big impression.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Insane.
It was such a good ending, and I thought it was
like it inspired trends.
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like everyone like was doing the dance for the hell of it, especially on the platforms like TikTok.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I still need to watch Fire Force. I think that's something a lot of people are saying that like actually has like a really good.
I think it's
sequence,
something to really watch.
Opening,
like, ending.
Whenever I read like reviews for like Fire Force, and I don't really take reviews too seriously. I just kind of like go with the flow. But everyone's saying that like Fire Force is like hit or miss though. Like sometimes like people say that they don't understand like the concept of the people going around fighting the ghosts. I think I don't know what it is, but I haven't
it's like
really
weird fire demon things.
Yeah, so I think like I guess it's hard. It's a concept you have to like get into, and then like once you start understanding what's going on, then you'll be interested. But yeah, I think that pretty much concludes our first ever episode of this show.
Ending of the Chica dance.
Yeah, make sure we get that as ending credits, bro. We got Chica dancing. Hey, Tunes, you want to dance for me?
Nope, not me. Sorry,
but
I don't even remember the dance properly. I'm not gonna lie, but like
Wait,
it's just ingrained in. It's just songs ingrained into my head.
It's ingrained in my head. Like it'll never leave. But thank you guys for tuning into this first episode of Subs No Dub. I hope you enjoyed us talking. I think we'll definitely be doing this a lot more. Thank you, TJ, for taking time out of your day for this. You're more than welcome to come back. Would love to have you back. And
thank you.
That's it. This is the first episode of Subs No Dubs. See you later. Bye.